Hello, this is Uncle Doug from Fellowship of the Martyrs here outside of Kansas City. Doug Perry, ministry, caring for the poor, homeless shelter, food pantry. We got a farm with a cave under it, and just trying to love people and be the hands and feet of Jesus, living in community, trying to change the world. No big deal. How hard could it be? This is number 2 in our series, False Prophets Be Like. And number 2 is false prophets tell you what you want to hear, tickling ears. I've got verses here. These are all out of the English Standard Version, and I'm just going to read you these verses. We'll talk a little bit about these. 2 Timothy 4, 3 through 4. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. Mark 7, 6 to 9. And he said to them, well did Isaiah prophesy, you hypocrites, as it is written, quote, this people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men, end quote. You leave the commandment of God and hold to the tradition of men. And then he said to them, you have a fine way of rejecting the commandment of God in order to establish your tradition. That ought to make Catholics quake in their boots. Ezekiel 2:28, and her prophets have smeared whitewash for them, seeing false visions and divining lies for them, saying, thus saith the Lord, when the Lord has not spoken. Whitewashing it, giving them peace and safety, everything's going to be okay. God's saying that you're okay. Jeremiah 5, 30 to 31, an appalling and horrible thing has happened in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests rule at their direction. My people love to have it so, but what will you do when the end comes? Colossians 2:8, see to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. Lamentations 2:14, your prophets have seen for you false and deceptive visions. They have not exposed your iniquity to restore your fortunes, but have seen for you oracles that are false and misleading. Lots of other examples that we could talk about of prophesying peace and safety, that everything's going to be okay when it's not going to be okay. Itching ears, hiring, killing the prophets to say what you don't want to hear, and motivating whoever's left to say what you do want to hear. That's rampant in churchianity today. We fire the old pastor because he's not funny enough, or he preaches sin, and we hire the new guy that is going to have a cafe, seeker-friendly church that's not going to challenge anybody. Those are, whether they call themselves prophets or not, whether they call themselves pastor or reverend or priest or whatever, those are false. And if you're using the Lord's name to put on it, you're a false prophet. More, we'll be back. That ends False Prophets Be Like number 2. We'll be back with False Prophets number 3 right pretty soon.